are you?
Yeah, hello, I'm Frank. I'm good. How are you?
Wow, you guys are looking beautiful and healthy as always.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I
I
spent
really like your outfit. It's your brand.
this one. Well, it is the honor. I'm honoring my mentor 5 study group. Okay, group
Hmm.
number 146. So we
Oh, wow.
created our own T-shirt so that when we go to Vietnam during that final graduating conference, we can easily or simply recognize
Where
each
everyone is.
Recognize
other.
your home. Yeah.
Recognize home, exactly, your house. Yeah.
Your house people.
So for at
Okay,
least
next
for
I'm
this
going.
this season of the sharing, I'm gonna be wearing yellow. I'm
It's
thinking maybe
awesome.
next
I like
season
it.
I'll do the white. I will do the white shirt. I'll honor the entire mentor with community by wearing the white shirt.
Yeah.
We just have the light blue wit shirt with wit on
Okay,
the.
Yeah.
excellent.
Okay, I'm
Lovely.
just going to hear you in the background cooking, and then we'll join you in a minute. Yeah. Thank you,
Okay,
Frank. Yeah.
okay. All right. Anything that you would like to share in terms of lesson from last week?
I'm just looking at the 7 great gifts of life,
Okay.
veritable acts, and also the human construct. I watch Hua, she's drawing it every day. They have to draw it so many times, they implant it in their brain.
Have you drawn it yourself, at least in English?
And she sees it in English through you. Yes.
Okay, but have you tried it?
Drawing it? Yes,
Yeah.
I've got a picture of it right here.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
Do it in, make sure you do it in all the colors. Yeah, all the colors.
yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm trying it. I don't have everything. I mean, I know the hear, say, and know, and yeah, I know that part of it. I used when I went to offline, I did my own chart
Hmm.
with what your choices are and what your final outcome is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. That's called the formula, right? The formula for the root cause of life.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the formula for the root cause of life. It begins with our final outcome and then our
Mhm.
choices, and it goes around and all the way around,
Yeah.
all the
And
way
then the
up to our
choices you
belief,
make.
our
Yeah.
mental images. Yeah, great. In the last week's sharing on the 7 gifts and anything else, did anything stand out to you? Any impression?
Um, Actually, a lot of it I've gone over before.
Okay.
So, I mean, more is better because at the offline, a lot of it wasn't translated to me like the way you do it.
Okay.
So,
Okay, great.
yeah.
Great. Glad you had a chance to see different perspective and different ways of translation. Have you
Yes,
been
and I'm looking
listening?
forward. They're getting a English program going so they can have more translations too.
Yeah.
I'm also taking Vietnamese classes as well. So
Excellent.
I'm trying to get it both ways, attack it from learning Vietnamese and also they're helping me out by translating as well.
If you actually learn Vietnamese um, in the philosophy on the inner being, you are actually indirectly learning Chinese as well.
Oh, wow.
Because there are a lot of the Vietnamese we are using in this philosophy is borrowed from the Chinese
The
language.
Chinese, yeah. I
Exactly,
do remember
Chinese
something
language.
about that, yes.
Right. So,
Yeah. And
Chinese has the character, right? Every character has a meaning, and the combination of character creates more meaning.
yeah,
Vietnamese language is a monosyllabic language where every word is a single syllable, and
yes.
oftentimes we have to combine multiple syllable to create more meaningful words. And so if
Yes.
you
And
learn, for
they're
example,
also starting
seven.
a
Mhm.
they're also starting a Vietnamese class with WIT on the 14th.
Excellent.
So
Okay.
I'll be joining that as well.
Okay, all righty. Hello, chị Hà. Wonderful to see your face, smiley face again. How have you been?
Mr. Ron and Mr. Viên.
Okay. It's a tradition. We always begin with lessons and impression. Do you remember anything from last week that you would like to share? Or have you anything that you were impressed with? Oh, okay. Okay, that's fine. Well, let's just kind of jump in today. Okay, let's just jump in. I like to begin by extending my gratitude for all of you for taking the time out of your day to join this Zoom, whether it's in the evening in the West Coast, United States, or in the morning of Vietnam. I'm sure you have better things to do, but you are offering us your gift of time. It is very important, part of your life. Okay, you're giving me part of your life being in this Zoom, and I'm honored by your presence. And I'm honored that you have those of you who are, turn on the camera so that you can interact, you can ask questions, you share ideas, and that help me learn. Through the process of sharing, I have learned a lot, and I have seen, even in myself, changes as a result of my sharing and interacting with you. Okay, your energy, your gift of your appearance, your gift of smile, your gift of magnanimity, your loving kindness, are the kind of things that make my life better. Okay, so I'm very appreciative of your presence, and let's kind of jump into today's sharing. It's a tradition. I always begin by generating the purpose of our sharing. Okay, so to keep with that tradition, what we're doing here is we are expanding. Okay, expanding our awareness and perception. Okay, our awareness and perception. What for? Okay, so that we could create a life of health, okay, happiness, okay, and maybe even peace. Okay, so that's a intention that we set each time we start a Zoom and we share ideas. Okay, to expand our awareness and perception. Okay, the kind of thing that we used to know or was aware of. Through this interaction, we expand our awareness, expand our perception. We perceive things differently. We look at things differently. We have different outlook in life. And as a result, we can create a new kind of life, a life of better health, more happiness, and greater peace. Okay, so with that in mind, take a quick look at the house of holistic health or house of holistic wealth. The foundation of our health is our inner being. The columns or the walls that hold up the house is our health, our relationship, and our finances on the top. We've gone through, I think, 19 sessions or 18 sessions already. Maybe this is 18 or 19. I don't know. No, I think this is 19 or 20. Okay. We spend a lot of it working on our inner being. Okay, we spend a lot of time working on our wisdom. We spent a lot of time talking about attitude. Today, we're going to move into character. And character. Now, when we think about character, okay, so character is one of the 7 candles in our house of holistic health. Okay. The benefit of being a person of character is that we get to maintain our positive affinity. Okay, so let's kind of review the idea of affinity for a moment. If you remember the formula for a desirable outcome in life, it's simple. Good inner seed. Okay, plus positive affinity equal desired outcome in life. Okay, good inner seed plus positive affinity equal desired outcome in life. And if you put that into a reality triangle, the reality triangle always have the physicality corner, right? Physical manifestation. We have the energy corner that give rise to that physicality. And we have the information corner. That is the foundational makeup, the energy and the physicality. The good inner seed that will give rise to a desire. So over here, physicality is, let's use a different color. Let's use purple. So if the physicality or the physical manifestation is the desired outcome in life, then the information is the good inner seed, okay? Which is what? Good inner seed are the wisdom, okay? More different levels of wisdom. Having wisdom give rise to good attitudes. Or another word is positive affinity. Positive, I'm going to use this plus symbol, positive affinity. Okay, positive affinity. And that is good attitude. Good attitude basically attracts people into a life. Okay. Wisdom, attitude. I think about it. If you are a person who had good attitude, that will attract people into your life. That is called positive affinity. We learn to recognize different types of people. We learn to attract different types of people, 9 types of people. Okay. We learn to maintain the attitude of serenity, the attitude of magnanimity, the attitude of honoring gratitude. All of those positive, highly balanced energy attracts people into our lives. But in order to keep those people, okay, we have to learn a way to actually keep them. Okay, so in order to keep the positive affinity in our lives, to continue maintaining that circle of good people who help us, okay, then we need character. Character. Okay. So whereas wisdom is the inner seed, that is about ourselves, our own awareness, our own perception, our own understanding, knowledge about ourselves, understanding principles and natural laws. That's all about ourselves. Having wisdom, we activate the energy of affinity in the form of good attitude. We attract people into our lives through good attitude, but we got to learn how to keep them. Okay, because if we don't learn how to keep them, then good people can come into our lives and they will go away. Okay, and so today we're going to talk about character, because character is the kind of thing that will help us maintain the positive affinity that we have with other people. In fact, Okay, let's recall how people come into our life. Okay, a person of character. In fact, let's go back a little bit. Affinity. Let's just say affinity. Okay, so positive affinity. Let's say positive affinity. Okay, we can confidently say a person of positive affinity is a person who, whenever we need somebody who point our way, we have those person to point our way. Whenever we need help, we have a person who helps. Whenever we need somebody to connect us, to things of values, then we have those people who connect us to things of value. If we are a person of positive affinity, that means that whenever we need someone to inspire us, to enable us, to empower us, we can find or attract those people who will inspire and enable and empower. We are a person of positive affinity whenever that we need somebody to share our burden. We can attract the kind of people who will take the responsibility of sharing and carrying our burden. We are a person of positive affinity whenever we need a guide. We can find a person who guides us. Similarly, when we need somebody who teach us morality or common sense, then we can find a person who will teach us morality and common sense. If we are a person of positive affinity, then we are, whenever we need somebody to give mindset of simplifying life's problems, then we can find a person who gives us ways to simplify life's problem. And finally, if we are a person of positive affinity, then we can attract the kind of people who will open our mind and save us from suffering. And what did I just write down? Does anybody remember what this looked like? What does this look like? What did I just write down? What does a person of
9
positive?
people.
9
There you
types of
go.
people.
There you go. Okay, exactly. So if we are a person of positive affinity, then we attract. Okay, basically, we attract the 9 types of people. Okay, yeah, 9 types of important people into our life. Okay, and we already went through, several episodes talking about how to attract these people, how to recognize them, how to keep them, how to treat them, even how to become them. And all of that has to do with attitude, especially honoring gratitude, right? Be grateful for these people when you recognize them, treat them appropriately. Okay, so attitude is the energy that will stimulate or activate our affinity with other people. Okay, having good attitude will make sure that we have positive affinity so that we can attract all of these wonderful people into our life. Now that we have these wonderful people into our life, how are we going to keep them? Okay, so let's do another quick one. So beside from having a positive attitude, there's another one. Let's say that again. Okay, so positive affinity. Last week we spent 3 hours talking about a way to stimulate our positive affinity. Okay, so here we stimulate, okay, or you can say activate. To stimulate or activate our positive affinity with other people, what do? We did 7 acts of giving. Okay, basically 7 charitable acts. Or gifts, okay, gifts. We give gifts to people. We give gifts to people. What are those gifts? Okay, give of our face, which is our appearance. Or smile. Okay, give of our eyes, which is our seeing. Gift of our speech, which is kind words. We talk about gift of our heart. What is it with heart of gratitude, right? Honoring gratitude, heart of gratitude. We give the gift of our spirit. A spirit so big, then we can encompass and hold all people and all things. The spirit of mag na ni mi ti. The gift of our body, which is helping hands, that we help people. Finally, the gift of our seat, which is our position, status in life. That is how we stimulate or activate our positive affinity. Okay, and today we're going to talk about how do we maintain or preserve. I haven't decided on any one word, so we can use both words, maintain or preserve our positive affinity. And we do that through 9 characters. Okay, 9 characters. And that is joy, hope, trust, or faith if you're more religious. Okay, joy, hope, faith. Kind of, what are the other ones? I went blank. Oh, okay. Wisdom. Okay, we still need honoring, gratitude, Okay, honoring gratitude, we need loving kindness. We continue to need magnanimity. We need humbleness. If you're religious, you can use the word humility. And we need the character of authenticity. Authenticity. Okay, 9 characters. So whereas good attitude will stimulate your positive affinity, good character will maintain your affinity with other people. Okay. In fact, back to this person, think of ourselves as being able to attract 9 of these special people into our life. If we're able to attract these 9 people into our life, right? And these are the, we can kind of write it again. These are the, so the wise people, the wise, okay? The benefactor, benefactors. These are the value connector, value connector. These are the prosper, or the spirit of fortune. These are our talent asset. The master guide us. The mentor give us morality and common sense. Teach us. The experts give us the mindset to simplify life's problem. And the sage open our mind and save us from suffering. So if a person can attract all of these 9 people into our lives, then we call those people, that is a definition of a successful person. Think about that. Would you be successful if you have the wise to point your way? That you have a bunch of benefactors to help you? That connect you to things of value? Who inspire and enable you? Would you be successful if you have talent asset to share your burden and help you with things, your projects? Would you be successful if you have master to guide you, mentor to teach us? Would you be expert if you would you be successful if you surround yourself with a bunch of experts to simplify your problem and sages to open your mind? Right? A successful person is this person who can attract these 9 people. Okay, so let's consider this. Okay, what would your life be like if you are those 9 people? Okay, so whereas last week and the week before we talked about how to attract the 9 people into our life, we invite you to consider what would your life be like if you are those 9 people all in one. Right? What would your life be like if you are the wise? If you are the benefactor who help other people? If you connect other people to things of value? If you inspire and enable us to other people? If we share and carry the burden of your family, your organization, your community? What would your life be like if you're the kind of master who guide other people? Or if you are mentor who teach other people? Give people mindset and simplify people's problem? What would your life be like if you can open other people's mind? So we invite you to take on a new level of affinity by becoming the 9 people in one. Okay, so you are now with the affinity. Okay, before we said that, okay, if we want our life to have the kind of desirable outcome, we need to have good seed. We need to have, we need to put ourselves in an environment of positive affinity when we can attract people. But now I invite you to consider, what if each of us is the energy, the attractive energy, if we are the positive affinity. Hello, Miss Phương Dominguez, thank you for joining us. Okay, so what if you are the affinity? Then you can connect people, you can give them wisdom, and you can connect them with things that they desire. We are now creator and generator of a better world if we are the affinity. Okay, so consider yourself being the affinity. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so that's the sort of the staging point for this sharing. It is an invitation to become a person of positive affinity who can connect other people and bring them to the kind of reality positive outcome. Okay, so invite you to become 9 people in one. Okay, so let's see. So whereas good attitude, as we mentioned before, whereas good attitude, the attitude of serenity, magnanimity, and honoring gratitude, are the ways in which we attract people. Okay, it is, so good attitude is expressed through the 7 acts of giving. Remember the 7 acts of giving. Okay, it is considered the energy of wisdom. Okay, it is character, or a person of refined character that will help us keep the affinity. So here we're going to define character. Consider the word character. Okay, character. Previously, when you think of the word character, does anybody have any ideas of any notion, any mental images when we say character? Have you ever heard of somebody saying build character? Good character, bad character. What does that all mean? You can either speak it or you can write it into the chat. And what does it mean, to be a person of character? Here, we invite you to consider the following adjective called wholly refined character. Another way is that you can use another word to wholesome character. Another word is rich in character. Okay, so what do you feel like? What do you feel when you see these words associated with character? So Ron, have you ever heard of the word character before? What comes up to mind when you hear people say character? Good character, bad character. Oh, that's a bad character. I don't want you to associate with, well, that's bad character. Or, you know, a father would say, I need to, your son, you need to build character. You ever heard the word build character? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. What kind of images or concept comes to mind in the past when we think of the word character?
It's a character of your choices. You build your own
Yeah.
character of your own choices and outcomes of your life.
It does involve choices and it does involve
What
outcome. Yeah.
what you've done in life
What you've done in life. Okay.
has built your character.
Yeah. Okay. So in this philosophy, okay, in this philosophy, we associate a person of character is to be equal to the person of success. So character, let's see. Let's use another, okay, so a person who is rich in character or a person who has wholesome character or wholly refined character is defined as person of success. Right? All the choice that we've made or the action that we've taken, it has led to a certain outcome. And that outcome is seen and judged by other people as a person of success. Not only that, we also define a person of character as person that others want to be close to. Okay, that's a special idea. That's a special concept. Okay, a successful person or a person of character is a person that other people want to be close to. Okay, why? Because consider the alternative. Consider a person who had, let's say, a lot of money. A person has a lot of money, but nobody want to be close to them. Can we call them a person of success or a person of good character? Or a person who has a lot of power or a lot of physical beauty, but nobody want to be close to them? Can we really call those people people of success or people of wholesome character or refined character? Right? So if people don't want to be close to you, then we can't really say you are successful. So it is a special definition, but it makes sense, right? It makes sense. You can't really be considered successful if people don't want to be around you. Okay. So here's a question. Is character something that something that we acknowledge for ourselves, or is it something that other people judge us to have? Okay, is character something that we acknowledge for ourselves, or is it something that other people see and they acknowledge?
I think it's something for ourselves.
Okay. Okay.
You build your own character.
Well, you build your own character, but do we go around saying, I am a person of great character?
Mhm.
No,
I
you can,
mean,
it's weird. It's a little weird to go around saying, I'm a person of wholesome character. I am a person of refined character. It's a
yes.
little weird to say, I am rich in character.
It's how you present yourself to people too.
Exactly. It is how we present ourselves to other people that will determine how they see us as character.
Mhm.
So what we go to work on is our attitude, our awareness, our wisdom, our attitude. But it is the physical manifestation of who we are that is seen by other people, and they call that character. Okay, and so that's a little bit of a distinction just that I want to call attention to. And you know, who we are as a person. Once again, we love to use the reality triangle. There's an information. I just kind of short it. Physical and energy. What we do as individual, as ourself, is we go to work on our wisdom. Okay, we go to work on our attitude. And when we have good wisdom, we have positive attitude, then other people will call that a person of character. They recognize that as a physical manifestation. The physicality of our person is our character. Okay, we don't go to work on our character. It's a little weird to say that I'm a person of wholesome character. I'm a person of rich character. I have great character. In a little bit, we'll find out what happened when we call ourselves a person of great character. That is immediately, then that means we're not, we're not a person of character. So it is our physical manifestation. Okay, it is our physical manifestation that other people recognize as character. Okay, does anybody get that so far? Okay, so what we do, okay, the state that we want to achieve is a state of being wholesome in character, being refined character. But the act or the action that we take is the process of cultivation and refinement. Okay, cultivation and refinement is a process that we undergo in terms of our wisdom and attitude, so that ultimately we can express ourselves in such a way that other people can recognize, and they say, oh, that is a person of wholesome character, that is a person of refined character. Okay. Okay, so let's go to the official definition. Go to the official definition. Pretty exciting. Okay, so once again, so here, character. Okay, so character is defined, or for character, and let's use green. Let's use green. Okay, character of a person, of a person, and I invite you to write this official definition down. Character of a person is the accumulated states of emotion and states of awareness within their inner being. Okay, character of a person is the accumulated states of emotions and state of awareness within the inner being, right? State of emotion, attitude. Okay, emotions awareness. Okay, this is inner stuff. Character of a person is the accumulated all these states of emotion and state of awareness within the inner being. That's inner stuff. That's the outer stuff. Okay, expressed outwardly through mental imagery and the values they hold toward themselves and their social relationship. Okay, so character of a person is the accumulated states of emotions and states of awareness within their inner being, expressed outwardly through mental imagery and the values they hold toward themselves and their social relationship. In other words, it connects the inner and the outer. Other people can recognize their values and their mental images. Because mental images is you know it's inside, but when you express it and other people can see it, then they consider that your character. And there's a relationship between ourselves and ourself too. Okay, so toward ourselves as well as our relationship. Okay, so to put this in concrete daily perspective, consider if you see a person whose emotion is always angry, right? Their emotion, their state of emotion is always angry. Now, one time they can be, one day can be angry. That's fine. That person is just, angry at that time. But if the person is always angry, every time you see them, they're angry. Then after a while, and other people could see that as the character. Oh, that person has a character of, let's say, hot temper. Hot temper is a statement on a person's character, where it's being angry, it's just being angry. Or having a short fuse, right? Here the face, short fuse, right? When a person continuously express the emotion as angry, then after a while, people are gonna see, oh, that's part of their character. That person is just a person of hot temper. They are short fuse. What if a person who's always blaming other people? Okay, maybe one time that's fine, you can blame other people, but if every time you meet that person, they'll always find things to blame. Right? Always finding things to blame, always being resentful, then after a while, people can think that, okay, that person is let's say a pessimistic person. It becomes a part of their character if the emotion is constantly being manifested and expressed that way. If a person is always taking things for granted, then after a while, people will say, oh, that person is ungrateful. Okay, so it is, emotion is the 84,000 bubbles of illusion. They pop up and they go away. But if we consistently maintain that state of emotion and the state of awareness about ourselves and our being, then other people would start to call that part of our character, right? So here, we talked about different types of emotion and state of awareness. Instead of dealing with 84,000 bubbles of illusion, we just focus on 3 very positive energy of emotion, serenity, magnanimity, and honoring gratitude. Okay, and we talked about three out of 5 levels of awareness and wisdom. Okay, so and when you can maintain those positive attitude and state of awareness, then other people would start to see that consistency and they call it, oh, okay, that is a person of character. Okay, so another way is what happened when we see a person who has a problem with their character. Okay, remember that. If we see a person who has the character of pessimism, or a person who has a character of resentment, they're always negative. How do we help them? Very simple. We go back to the formula. We go back to helping them with their attitude. We go back to helping them reach a state of serenity. We go back to helping them being magnanimous. We go back to helping them reach a level of honoring gratitude. We help them raise their level of awareness and wisdom, right? Help them change a switch between a simple level 1 awareness of good and bad, right and wrong, to taking the level 1 wisdom where they choose to look for the good, choose the positive instead of the negative. We can help a person raise the level of awareness to level 2, where root cause of life begin with them. They take responsibility for the choices and the outcome without blaming. We help them raise to the level of level 2 wisdom, where they can create new positive images through what they hear, what they see, what they say, and what they know. And we help people reach the state of serenity, where they they recognize that the essence of all things are empty, and whatever meaning that we attribute to anything is from within. Okay, so whenever we help a person who has seemingly have a problem with their character, we now have a simple method of simply helping them raise their level of awareness, expand their wisdom, and improve their attitude through serenity, honoring gratitude, and magnanimity. Okay, so basically, if we do that, then we help them cultivate and refine their character. Okay, so it is a process of cultivating and refinement. Okay, so we're going to go on to the definition of a person of refined character. Okay. So whereas a character of a person is just the accumulated state of emotion and state of awareness. Okay. From within, that is expressively outward, where other people can sense. Now we're going to define what it means to be, this is character of a person. Okay. Next, we're going to define a person of character. That's 2 different things. Okay. So, so whereas the previous one is character of a person, now we are going to define a person of character. Okay, already you can see the difference. Okay, just by switching the word. Okay, but person of character. Okay, a person of character. Or you can say a person rich in character. Okay. Also known as a person of wholesome or refined character. Okay. is a person who wholly accumulates the states of emotion and states of awareness within their inner being expressed outwardly as joy, hope. Let's use trust, wisdom, honoring, gratitude, oops, gratitude, loving kindness, magnanimity, humbleness, authenticity, toward themselves and toward their social relationship. Okay. 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 A person of character. Okay. Whereas the other one is a character of a person. This one, a person of character, or a person rich in character, also known as a person of wholesome character or a person of refined character, is a person who wholly accumulates the state of emotions and state of awareness within their inner being, expressed outwardly as joy, hope, trust, wisdom, honoring gratitude, loving kindness, magnanimity, humbleness, authenticity toward themselves and toward their social relationship. Okay. It is the outward expression of joy, hope, trust, wisdom, honoring gratitude, loving kindness, magnanimity, humbleness, authenticity toward themselves and toward their social relationship that makes a person of character. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. 9 traits of a person of character. And whereas previously we hear the word character, but we don't have a solid clear conception of what that means. Good character, bad character. Because we don't have a clear conception of what it means, it is not simple to reach that state. And even if we reach that state, we don't know how to maintain it because we don't know that we've reached it. And it's difficult for us to recognize other people of character if we don't have a good, clear conception of the definition of what it means to be a person of character. Okay, but now that we have this definition, it is nothing more than, the person of character is a person who holistically accumulate the kind of emotion and state of awareness within themselves that they can express outwardly, and you can use it as a checklist. Check, do they have joy? Do they have hope? Do they have trust? Do they have wisdom? Do they have honoring gratitude? Are they lovingly kind? Are they magnanimous? Are they humble? Are they authentic toward themselves and toward other people? Right? Having listed out these 9 traits makes it simple to recognize, to achieve, and to become. Okay? And to even, to even simplify it some more, these 9 traits makes a person successful. Okay, it is a person of character is also a person of success. Okay, a person of character person of success. Okay, and the okay, so person of success is defined as a person that others want to be close to, right? Did we do that one already? A person of success is a person that others want to be close to. Okay, so in other words, if a person who express joy, hope, trust, wisdom, do you want to be close to that person? Right? If the person is grateful, is lovingly kind, is magnanimous, do we want to be close to that person? If they are humble and authentic, do we want to be close to that person? So with this definition of a person of success is a person that others want to be close to, who exhibit these character traits, then we can ask, okay, what does it mean to be a successful parent? Successful mother or successful father? Then a successful mother or successful father is the father or the mother that their children want to be close to. That the children can see that they have joy, hope, trust, wisdom. That the children can see that they are grateful, that lovingly kind, that they are magnanimous, that they are humble and authentic. With this definition, then what does it mean to be a successful boss in a company? A successful boss in the company is the boss that employee want to be close to. Have you been in a work environment when the boss walked into the room and everybody suddenly, they just kind of straighten up, they pretend to work, they just kind of behave really good. But when the boss leaves, everybody, they're so happy when the boss leaves. Right? I think we've all been in a situation where the boss comes into the room and we try to behave well, but we actually prefer it if the boss was not in the room. Okay, so in that context, we cannot say that that is a successful boss. But if a boss walked in the room and everybody, oh yay, the boss is here. The boss brings joy. The boss brings hope. The boss brings trust. You can trust your boss. You can go to them with your problem, with your concern. If the boss is grateful to you, if the boss is kind, if they are authentic and humble, then yeah, oh, that is a successful boss. I want to work for that boss. And what would that be like if you were that boss? If you were that boss, then people want to work for you. It'd be simple to attract talent asset, right? People just flock to you because you're just naturally joyful, hopeful, trustful, and wise. And you are grateful. You are lovingly kind. You are magnanimous. You are humble and authentic to other people, and you would just attract people to you, and people just want to work for you. Okay, that is the definition of a successful boss. Right? What about a spouse? Right? There's a spouse that brings joy, hope, and trust, wisdom, and great gratitude to their spouse. Can we consider them as a successful spouse? If a spouse is skeptical of his or her spouse's money spending and won't let them touch the bank account, then you can say, oh, maybe that spouse is having a problem with the character of trust. Right? Some marriage couple will sign a prenuptial agreement to keep their bank account separate because they cannot trust their marriage partner with their money. So either one or both of partners have some problem with their character of trust. Right? Think about that one. Okay. Yeah. So person of character, person rich in character, wholesome character is a person who other people want to be close to, and we define that as a person of success. Okay. The opposite is you can consider the opposite. What if somebody give you material wealth? Okay, they give you money, but they don't give you joy and hope, and you don't want to be close to them. Then you cannot consider them to be a person of character or a person of success. What about a person who has fame, or even help you become famous, but they, let's say, lack loving kindness, and they don't give you loving kindness, and they don't teach you loving kindness so that you can attract other people to you? Then you cannot consider that person a person of success or a person of wholesome character. Right? What about a person who is powerful, or people who give you power, but let's say they are not authentic, and you don't sense that you can fully express yourself, you cannot express yourself authentically with that person? Then maybe they have some problem with their character in terms of authenticity. That means they cannot be considered a successful person, and you cannot consider yourself a successful person. Okay, you kind of get that? Okay. Okay. Let's any questions so far? Any impressions so far before we move on? Next part is even more interesting. Go ahead, Ron.
Just about every person you described there, I was able to match up with different people in my life.
Yeah. That is wonderful. That you are very fortunate, Ron, to have different people in your life who exhibit some, if not all, of these character traits. Okay, it's a great fortune to have those people in your life. Okay.
Yes. One of them is my mom. We just moved her into a home,
Mhm.
and she's very negative right now.
Okay.
And she has dementia, so it's something you have to take into mind too. Like she gives you negative answers and negative questions. "Oh, I don't like being here," and
Mhm.
stuff like that. And I just answer her back saying, "Well, it doesn't seem like that bad of a place. It looks very nice.
Mhm.
Lots of things to do here." And she says, "Well, then you can live here." When the time comes, maybe I will.
Okay.
If and when the time comes, maybe I will. And yeah, it's
Well, yeah. On that
somebody that
topic,
has dementia.
yeah. On that topic, a person. Sometimes we can feel a person who gives us a sense of joy, hope, and trust, or a person can express a certain character trait with one group of people, but they exhibit different character trait with other group of people. Let's say a person who is very magnanimous to a boss who is very magnanimous to his coworker, right? But when he goes home, he's not so tolerant and accepting of his children.
Mhm.
or a wife who is very grateful to her husband, but not so grateful to the people who help her at work. How about a spouse who brings wisdom to his, a father who brings wisdom to his children, but not much wisdom and enlightenment to his spouse. So as human beings, we are inconsistent. We are sometimes this with one group of other people, but we are sometimes that with a different group of people. That just means that, we as a person of character, we are not wholesome and not fully refined just yet. And so the sharing is an invitation to cultivate and enrich ourselves so that we can exhibit all the character trait to all kinds of people. Okay, we'll talk about that in a little bit at the end of the later on in the sharing, when we can consistently express ourselves the same way, holistically, refined from one person to another. What that causes is that it will create a sense of a personal mark, like a trademark. Everybody will recognize that person the same. Okay, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But before that, let's see if we can raise our awareness and perception even more about character. Okay, so okay, so we're all familiar with this. We are human being. Okay, we are human being. Okay, we can agree with that. However, hello, Ms. Mickey. Thank you for joining us. I'm very honored by your presence. Okay, happy to see you here. Hopefully, you will be able to gain some value from the sharing and apply it to your journey. Okay, yeah, honored and grateful for your presence. Okay.
Thank you.
Ms. Mickey is
Here.
my son's teacher in his daycare. She's a teacher in the kindergarten and daycare. She's a wonderful person. And I always enjoy seeing Ms. Mickey every time I pick up my son, and my son always say wonderful things about her when he comes home. He made her a gift. Ms. Mickey is moving on to bigger and better things, right? You're gonna study to become a master in psychology or something like that, right? Yeah. So expanding her capability, okay, expanding her capability. In this sharing, we work on becoming holistically healthy and holistically wealthy. And one of them is a capability. You're going to school and enriching your capability, getting more knowledge, will be able to help you create more value to other people. Okay.
Hello, Mickey.
But
I'm grateful
thank you
to
for your
have you.
presence. Okay, wonderful to see your face. So yeah, we are human beings. Okay, and however, we notice that a lot of time we're kind of busy doing things. Okay, so instead of being human, I'm just gonna put we're a human being, but we are busy doing, so we end up becoming human doing. Okay, this is a play on word. We are busy working, we're busy planning, we're busy worrying. So we're always doing, and we don't get a chance to simply be. Okay, in this philosophy, we invite you through all of these sharing up to now, I think 20 sessions so far, we invite you to kind of elevate yourself from simply doing things and being so busy and becoming more like human being. We talk about a state of being magnanimous. to be tolerant, to be accepting. We talk about a state of being grateful, being honored by. I am honored by your presence and grateful for your participation. It is a state of being. We talked about the state of being at peace, serenity, very high energy, very high level of vibration that attract a lot of goodness into our life. Okay, we talk about being human, okay, human being. And here with the discussion on character, we invite you to elevate that to the level of giving. Okay, so remember last week we talked about the 7 acts of giving, right? 7 acts of giving: giving of our appearance, giving of our eyes, giving of our kind words, giving of our heart, our spirit, our helping hand, giving of our position. My favorite has always been giving of our position. If we have money, we don't just give people money, but we give people the position of wealth. If we are rich, we help other people become rich. If we have knowledge and wisdom, we help people become knowledgeable and wise. If we have joy, happiness, peace, we give people the state of being joyful, happy, and at peace. So we invite you to elevate your awareness and perception to become human giving. Okay, not just human doing, definitely not human doing. You're so busy doing, we forget to be human. And so with that in mind, there is this distinction. Earlier, remember we talked about, we described character of a person and a person of character. Okay, so consider this. Consider the character of joy. So there is the joyful person, and then we have person of joy. Ooh. Let's make it a little prettier. It's used to different lines because it's long. Okay, so consider this one. So we have on the one side, we have joyful person. And over here we have person of joy. Let's kind of contemplate that for a moment. A joyful person is a person who who express the emotional state and the state of awareness of joy. It is an emotion thing that we express ourselves, right? So really a joyful person, this is a self expression. A joyful person, it is a self expression. People, okay, that's a joyful person. That's great. Okay, people recognize that a joyful person, that is a character of joy that people can recognize that. But the person of joy is something else. A person of joy is somebody who brings joy to others. So that's different. One is simply your self-expression. The other one on the right here, the person of joy is one who actually brings joy to other people. Okay, how about where's my pen? Okay, how about hopeful, okay? Hopeful person, right? A hopeful person is a person who expresses hope. Very simple, self-expression. A hopeful person is a person who expresses hope. But a person of hope, person of hope is a person who brings hope to other people. It is a human giving. Okay, a wise person. Okay, so we're going to go down, just going to list all of the one, right? A wise person is a person who is wise. Okay, they have awareness. They have three levels of awareness. Okay, level one awareness is right or wrong, good or bad, true or false, should or should not. But a wise person is a wise person is a person who would choose the good, who would choose the right. A wise person is a person who can take responsibility for the cause and consequences of his or own life and create positive mental images. A wise person is a person who can reach a state of emptiness and serenity. That is just self-expression. But a person of wisdom is a person who brings wisdom to other people. Wisdom, who bring wisdom, who open other people's mind, who expand other people's awareness and perception. In the Zen philosophy, if you can expand other people's awareness and perception and raise their wisdom to level 3, okay, it is a level 3, okay, wisdom, where a person basically experience the truth within themselves. They experience true serenity and inner peace, true emptiness. Then that person who brings that wisdom level 3 to other people, where is it in here? Wisdom level 3. So we invite you to, if we can bring level 3 wisdom to other people, then you will accumulate what's called intellectual merit or spiritual merit. With that energy that we accumulate by helping other people, we can reach enlightenment and awaken. Okay, we borrow the ideas from the Buddhist philosophy, Zen, Buddhism, meditation. Okay, the Buddha, for example. Okay, a wise person. Okay, a grateful person is a person who expresses honoring gratitude to everything and everyone. But a person who can bring honor and gratitude to other people, cause other people to be grateful, that is a person of gratitude. Okay, a grateful person versus a person of honoring gratitude. How about a magnanimous person? A magnanimous person is a person who expresses tolerance for others and acceptance of others. Very merciful, very forgiving. That is a magnanimous person. So we had, what did we get? We said wise, we said grateful, okay? We say magnanimous person, okay? A magnanimous person is very accepting and tolerant of other people, but the person of magnanimity is a person who can empower other people to also be magnanimous. Okay, so bring magnanimity to other people in the world. How about trust? Trusting person, a trusting person, okay? Trusting or faithful servant, a faithful follower, okay? A trusting person. A child is very trusting of his or her parent, right? A child is very trusting of his or her parent. But it takes a degree of wisdom and added, it takes a degree of wisdom to bring trust and faith to other people. Okay, bring trust, to cause other people to trust, to cause other people to have faith. Okay, so similarly with other manifestation of character, a humble person expresses the character of humbleness, but a person of humility, a person of humbleness, not only express his or her own humbleness, but can cause other people to follow and be humble as well. An authentic person is a person who can express himself or herself authentically without fear, without thinking too much, without complication. But a person of authenticity is a person who can cause other people to also be authentic with themselves. Okay, so you can see the difference now. Just as when the discussion about the different levels of wisdom, there is the awareness and there's the wisdom, right? Awareness is just something we kind of have. Wisdom is a conscious choice. Now, when we talk about character, there's this self-expression and there's this giving to others. Yes, we have to refine ourselves. We have to cultivate ourselves so we can become a person of refined character, a person of wholesome character. But we invite you to be more than that. You want to become the affinity in the formula for the this one. The formula for having a good life, a desirable outcome. Good inner seed, positive affinity equal desirable outcome. If we can go to work, we have to begin on working on ourselves, our inner seed. We're working on putting ourselves in a positive affinity, attract other people into our life, attract 9 people into our life, so that we can ultimately get the kind of life that we want. But here we also invite you to become the affinity, to become the positive affinity that attract other people, that cause other people to raise their awareness, that cause other people to improve their attitude and help other people achieve their desirable outcome in life. Did you get that? Yeah, question? Ron. Unmute.
Yes, I just wanted to say, like, on the last picture there where it brings joy to others, there's a lot of people that bring joy to others. They have the info that makes other people happy or whatever, but inside they're not really happy.
Yeah. So there is so with those we can say they have a problem with their character.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, a lot of that maybe have to do a lot of that has to do with the character of authenticity. Oops. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, to be authentic. Okay, I think at some point I will share, not today, but I may decide to share authenticity. Okay, to be able to express yourself authentically. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's, what am I missing? Loving kindness. Okay, not in order, but there is loving, right? Some people can sort of express loving kindness to other people, but they don't really love themselves. So that's why even built into the definition of character, it has that statement that says toward themselves and their social relationship. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more. What am I missing? Hope. Okay, so we have, okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What else am I missing? Okay. Magnanimity, gratitude, we have that. Joy, hope, trust. Joy, hope, trust. Okay, so we have trust. Oh, we have trust already. Wisdom, wise wisdom, honoring gratitude, grateful. Kindness, humbleness. Okay, so humbleness. Or if you're more religious, you use the word humility. Okay, humbleness. Yeah, it is one thing to express ourselves these characters, and people can recognize, okay, you have those characters. You're a joyful person, you're a hopeful person, you're a humble person. But to be able to bring these things to other people, then people will call you a person of that character, a person of humbleness, a person of loving kindness, when we can bring it to other people, and we can cause other people to have the same kind of character. Okay. So for those of you who have just joined us, Ms. Mickey, chị Lam, we define a person of character is a person of character, or a person rich in character, also known as a person of wholesome or refined character, is a person who wholly accumulates the state of emotion and state of awareness within their inner being, expressed outwardly as joy, hope, trust, wisdom, honoring, gratitude, loving kindness, magnanimity, humbleness, authenticity toward themselves and toward their social relationship, and that cause other people to want to be close to them. And that is a definition of a person of success, or a successful person, right? When somebody brings us joy, we want to be close to them. If somebody brings us hope, we want to be close to them. Somebody brings us trust, we want to be close to them. And so if you can attract people and you want people to be close to you, then ultimately you're going to be successful. Okay, that's something to take away. Okay, so okay. So when it comes to so here's a question, okay? So something that raised our awareness, again, which is more lasting? Someone who makes us feel good, or someone who inspires and empowers us to be good? Someone who makes us feel good, or someone who inspires and empowers us to be good? Someone who makes us feel good, it's kind of temporary, right? They may not be there the next moment, they may not be there the next day, and then we are no longer feel good. Okay, but if someone can inspire and empower us to be good, that has a longer lasting impact in our lives. Right, so the left side is this, kind of person who makes it feel good. You meet a person who is happy, you might feel happy, but a person who makes us wanting to be good, that has a longer lasting impact on our life, and that is why we call them a person of character. Consider a marriage. Some of you are in a marriage relationship. Some of you might want to be married one day. In a marriage relationship, consider difference between marrying a joyful person versus marrying a person who brings you joy, who cause you to want to bring joy to others. Okay? This is an important point to make, because many young people will go into the marriage wanting the other person to make them happy. And in the beginning, they may enjoy that. Right? In a marriage relationship, you can marry a person who brings you joy, and that's fine. But after a while, that can dissipate. And when that person no longer brings you joy anymore, then the relationship kind of fall apart. But if you go into a relationship and the other person make you wanted to give joy, the other person want to make you want to give joy, then that relationship is going to last longer, because then you're giving each other joy. Okay, that's an important point to make. What about parenting? Are you simply a parent who is hopeful for your children? Right? Every parent will have hope for our children. We want them to grow up. We want them to be happy. We want them to be this and that, to be successful. Are you simply a parent who is hopeful for your children? Or are you the kind of parent who gives hope to your children? there's that distinction. We can sit there and hope for our children. We can sit there and hope our children will be happy. We can hope that they will be successful, but that we can proactively give them hope. That empowers them to be successful. That empowers them to be happy and joyful for the rest of their life. Then they don't have to be dependent on us. Okay? It's one thing to hope for our children, it's another thing to give them hope. Okay? How about our spouse? Okay? Do we simply trust our spouse? It's good to trust our spouse. Okay? We want a relationship to work, we should trust our spouse. But are we the kind of person who cause our spouse to trust? That takes wisdom, that takes proactivity. Number 2, wisdom. Okay, root cause of life begins with me. I can cause the other person to be trusting of me. That kind of leads into the discussion on integrity later. But yeah, there's a distinction to be simply, I'm the spouse who is very trusting. That's good that you're very trusting, but do you cause your spouse to trust you? Okay, how about your boss? Okay, are you simply a wise boss? Or do you bring wisdom to your employee? Okay, are you simply a wise boss? Or do you bring wisdom to your employee? Okay, so all of that calls the attention, calls into the question of what does it mean to be a successful person? Okay, the successful person not only express character, they also bring character to other people. So with that, we can easily identify people who have problem with their character. If we are, in fact, because oftentimes because we don't recognize the clarity, the clear concept, that we often find ourselves in a situation with another person of negative affinity, and we are suffering from pain without knowing it. Okay, because a lot of relationship drags on for years in pain and suffering because we haven't taken the time to identify and check mark, these characteristics of the other person and of ourselves. So if you're in a relationship with a person and we feel unhappy, well, that means 2 things. Maybe there's something going on with our character of joy, and maybe the other person is also having problem with their character of joy. We either don't know how to make ourselves happy, or the other person isn't bringing us happiness. If we're in a relationship where we feel hopeless or pessimistic, then maybe our hopeful expression, our character of hope is in trouble, or the other person that we're in a relationship isn't giving us hope. Okay, or if we're in a relationship where we are always doubting, then we can take a look. Okay, maybe our own character is in trouble, or the other person is causing us doubt, and they are having character problem of trust. Okay, so we kind of go down a list. If we're in a relationship where we feel ignorant and delusional, then there's a problem with the character of wisdom. If we're in a relationship where we take for granted and we are resentful and blaming, then our gratitude or the other person's gratitude is having a problem. If we're in a relationship where we feel apathetic or hate, then loving kindness is missing in somebody's character. If we're in a relationship where we lack tolerance, then either ourselves or the other person is having their problem with their magnanimity. Okay, where there is arrogance, then some character of humbleness is missing. Where we cannot express ourselves authentically, where we don't feel safe to say and do things without fear of reprisal, then something is missing in our character of authenticity. Okay, so that's one way to sort of check and see, you know, if our character is wholesome. If it's not, then we can go to work on cultivating and refining our character through the formula, through the triangle, right? Attitude and wisdom. So in other words, the definition of a successful person is a person of wholly refined character, okay, whom others want to be close to. The state of being wholly refined is a state to achieve, okay? But the act is to cultivate and to refine. It is the work of getting to the state of being wholly refined. We can judge other people as having refined character. We just don't say, oh, I have a refined character. I have a great character. That's weird. We can say, oh, that person has great character. It is something that other people will acknowledge. We can't acknowledge ourselves as having wholesome character. It's just weird, okay? All we can do for ourselves is to focus on the act of cultivating and refining, okay? So that brings us to a next important part. Okay, anybody want to share anything? Any impression, any questions so far before we move on to a tie into okay. So I'm gonna write this statement down. A person of wholesome character, okay, is the seed of a successful environment. So earlier, remember we said a person of character is a person of success. A person of character, or a person who is rich in character, or a successful person, is a person that other people want to be close to. Now, we are rephrasing that in a statement that says that a person of wholesome character, or a person of refined character, or a person of wholesome character is the seed of a successful environment. Okay, a person of wholesome character is the seed of successful environment. Here we operate on the principle of causality. Okay, with the principle, the natural law of causality, we always want to work on the seed instead of the fruit. If we want, you know, any kind of outcome in life, we want to change any outcome, we don't focus on the outcome. It's already an outcome. You can't change the outcome. If our life is undesirable, we can't change it unless we go to work on the seed, the inner seed. Just like the mango seed that will bear, that will grow up to be a mango tree and bear mango fruit. If we receive a fruit that is not what we want, a mango fruit that is not what we want, we can't do anything about it. Too late. We can only go back to work on the seed. We can go to work on cultivating the environment, or we simply plant a different kind of seed that will bear a different kind of fruit. So a person of wholesome character is a seed of a successful environment. And what does that mean? Okay, consider this. One person is only 1 point. One person is only 1 point. Two persons makes a line segment. It's just a segment. but 3-person. Now we have a triangle, a structure. A triangle is the most stable structure in all of nature. Okay, a triangle is the most stable structure in all of nature in terms of physics as well as in terms of human life and experience. When we register in a business, when we go to the Secretary of State and we register a business, the form that we register a business will ask who's the president, who's the secretary, and who's the treasurer. They only care about 3 people. In an organization, there is the president, there is the vice president internal, there's a vice president external. All we need is 3 people to create a structure. And the triangle is the stablest structure in all of nature. And here we say a person of wholesome character is a seed of a successful environment. And what we mean is that this top person, this first person, we're going to use the word refined. Okay, refined character. First person is a person of refined character. Okay, so here we're going to say also use refined. I'm still haven't decided on a one word. Person of refined character. If remember, a successful person is defined as what? As a person that other people want to be close to, right? So if we have a refined character, a person of refined character, then we attract other people. This person of refined character will attract, we need to attract 2 more people. These 2 people they don't have to be wholly refined just yet. They can be refining character. This person can be refining character. In other words, they are in the process of cultivating and refining their character. With whose help? The help of the refined character person. That's why we invite you to become 9 of those people in one. Okay, one of them is, the sage. One of them is the master. You can be the master. You help guide these 2. You can be their mentor. We teach them moral principle. We can be their benefactor. We help them. We can be their spirit of fortune. We enable, inspire, and empower them. We can be the expert who gives them the mindset that simplifies their life's problem. If we are 9 in one, then we are a person of refined character. We have become a successful person, and that will attract other people to us. These 2 people can be our talent asset. Okay? These 2 people can be our talent asset, and we help them build their character, and together we create an environment. Okay, so successful environment. Not only not a successful environment, but it is an enduring. So let's do this. This is, I'm just gonna write this one. Enduring, not just any environment, they're bad environment. This is enduring. And when we say this in a positive sense, okay, positively enduring, environment. So when we have a one person of refined character or wholesome character, it'll attract other people, and we only need to working on attracting two people who are in the process of cultivating and refining their character with the help of the refined character person. Then we begin to create an enduring environment. So consider, what would our life be like if we, let's say, as a parent who is of refined character? Two parent plus children. What we have just created is an enduring family environment. If a parent is a person of refined character, and we help our children, we give them, right? We talked about human giving. Not only do we express character of joy, hope, faith, love, trust, but we give our children joy, hope, faith, love, trust, authenticity, magnanimity, honoring, gratitude. Then we create an enduring family environment. Okay. What if we are a business owner and we are a business owner of wholesomely refined character, and we have a VP internal and a VP external, or a secretary and a treasurer who is in the process of cultivating and refining their own character thanks to our help? Then we create an enduring business environment. Did you get that? So take a look at the business that lasts. Okay, there are businesses that last hundreds of years. Okay, a lot of successful business will write the word est, and then 1800s. Este is a Latin word for since, from. Then we wonder, oh, what make those business last that long? Well, there must be people. A business is run by people. What about those people? They are people of refined character, or at least they are refining their character. Consider dynasty or noble families, or families of nobility, right? Kings and queens. There are families of nobility in the Middle Ages that have lasted for hundreds of years. We want to know, okay, what kind of character do those people, embody that allow their legacy to last this long? It is because they have people of refined character and people who are refining their character. Consider religious organizations that have lasted thousands of years. Thousands of years. Christian church, Buddhist church. Okay, the Hindus, the Muslim. Those religious institutions have within them, right? They ensure that their people, their followers, experience joy through their practice, experience hope, experience faith, are grateful for what they are given, who practice loving kindness on a regular basis, are humble and authentic about their religious faith. And so their religious institution have lasted for thousands of years. And so, but the formula is simple. Just 9 things: joy, hope, faith, trust, love, magnanimity, honoring, gratitude, authenticity, humbleness. Just 9 things. And those 9 things arise out of what? Positive attitude, serenity, magnanimity, and honor and gratitude. Just focus on the 3. Positive attitude that attract positivity into our lives. And those 3 positive attitudes arise out of what? 3 levels of wisdom and awareness. Between good and bad, right and wrong, you choose the good, you do the right, Level 2, take responsibility for our choices and our consequences, create positive mental images, build our future, take ownership of our own lives, our organization, our family, our religious institution, and elevate that to level 3, where we are not attached to any outcome. We recognize the truth within ourselves. And that is how you build an everlasting institution, whether it's a family, an organization, a business, or even a religion. When you look at those organizations that do not last, simple. Some of those check marks didn't get checked off. When an institution disappears from the history book, something, the joy has gone away, the hope has gone away, the authenticity has gone away, the magnanimity has gone away, the honoring gratitude has gone away, the trust and the faith has gone away. When family disappear, those check marks had just, those check marks had disappeared. Simple formula for lifelong and everlasting success. And it's unfortunate that not a lot of people get it, but we are fortunate. Okay, those of us who are here in this Zoom, we should consider ourselves very, very fortunate, very blessed. Okay, if you are a Christian, you can honor and thank God and the Holy Spirit for giving you the opportunity and the chance to be in this space at this time to learn this material. Or if you're from a Zen Buddhist tradition, you understand that through your process of accumulating and cultivating and refinement through many lifetimes, you have accumulated enough good fortune and good merit to be able to be in this space at the same time, to be discussing this philosophy. It's a simple formula. Thank you, Ms. Phương Dominguez, for joining us today. Okay, hope to see you again next time. Okay, and that's it I have for today. Okay, that's basically the formula for creating an everlasting institution. Yeah, go ahead, Ron.
I was just wondering, could you look at that triangle in a different picture, like in the information corner in the bottom? Could you put refined character, and then in the top you can put refining character.
Yeah, this is not a reality triangle in a traditional sense.
Okay.
It is intentional that the top person be considered a person who has already achieved the state of wholesomely refined character.
I was looking at it as a triangle of information, energy, and
yeah. This is not a reality triangle. Yeah.
Okay.
But it is a structure, okay? And we use the reality triangle because it is a very solid structure, okay? Nature loves triangle. If we have the reality triangle to use and apply to all aspects of life, and you can you can work it out later. But here, the formula for creating an environment begins with a person of refined character, okay? And then it follows suit that the other two people are at least in the process of refining their character with the help of the refined character. And ultimately, you want to give your gift a position. You want these people to ultimately become refined character themselves. And they will have their own little triangle. They would have their own, right and left. In fact, there is a concept I'll add another tips, so to speak, to building a lasting institution, whether it's family or organization. So we have this one person. Okay, this is the person of refined. I'm gonna say, it's gonna write it out. Person of refined character in order to create a successful and enduring organization, there is a concept of the sort of the left hand, right hand. Okay, we're gonna call it, this is the left hand person, left hand man, get it? Ever heard of that? Left hand, right hand. Left hand, right hand. My left hand man, my right hand man. The main person is the brain. Okay, that's called a brain. If we want to create any project and or organization, we need a person who has the brain. But that person is going to need left and right hand. These are your talent asset. Remember in the discussion on a talent asset, the gift of our body, the gift of our hand is, literally helping other people. Well, when we consider other people, our left hand and right hand, they are the people who are contributing to this body, this environment, this organization. And they, you want to think about the role of these people. They should have different role. Okay, you can mix and match and be flexible depending on your circumstance and need. But one person is a person who, let's use this one. Let's say one person support you. Okay, support you in whatever you do. You can think of it as a sort of a person, a structure that you can lean on. Right, a support is a structure that you can lean on. Laterally, okay, you can say laterally. Support laterally. Laterally. A person you can depend on all the time to do what you need to get things done. Your right hand is a person who lift you up. Lift up vertically. This is a person who promotes your image. This is a person who is your apparteller. Remember, we talked about the idea of appartelling, right? We appreciate something and we tell it to other people. Your left hand could be your vice president of internal affairs. Support you laterally, maintain the stability of the organization. The right person can be your vice president of external affairs, external relation, public relation, marketing, whatever, however you want to, structure your organization. One person support, the other person lift up. One goes lateral, the person go up. Okay, that's the idea of a very solid structure that you can build laterally and vertically. That's why a lot of a lot of organization, keep it simple. Okay, a single person with two person helping them, supporting them and lifting them up. Promote them. This person gets things done, this person also gets things done, but at the same time, promote the image, expand. And each of those person, your goal as a person of refined character, help these people also become person of refined character. Okay.
Thank you, Frank. I appreciate your sharing.
That's it. That's all I have for today. Any question or impression? That's it. So next week, I don't know what to do yet. I'm not sure if I should jump straight into integrity or should I, maybe share a little bit about some of the character. I did not study up any of the particular character trait.
Thank you for inviting me, and I'm glad I was able to make it. And yeah, like the part that I was here for, I enjoy, and they're really good information, especially like I resonate with the human doing and then human being.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then to the giving part and like the differences between like, you know, a person of something and then a person who self-expressed that. And yeah, so thank you. I
Okay.
enjoyed it.
All right, I'm very happy that you got some values out of that. What you have just done is you have just practiced a wonderful, wonderful principle of mental activation in learning. Okay, what you have just done without even being asked is it's called a principle of mental activation. Did you get a chance to see any of the previous videos?
I watched episode 1
Okay.
of the season 2 and I enjoyed it. And
Probably haven't heard of this phrase, right? We probably didn't get to this until maybe, yeah. What you've just done without even being prompted is that you have activated the principle of mental activation, because whenever we come across any new information, any new encounter, any new experience, in order to really grow as a human being and mature and gain, get the full value of that, is that we go through a process of we reflect on the lesson. We reflect on the lesson. We review. We state our impression. And if possible, we see if we can come up with any new realization. Any lesson basically is anything that's new to us. Okay, so you have just told me, what was new to you. You said it resonated with you, right? So that's your impression. At the same time, we invite you to think of it in terms of applicability. If there's anything that resonates in such a way, application, or okay, application, that's fine too. Anything that we can apply to our life. Right? It's one thing to come across information. Hey, it's fun to learn something. It's fun to read something, but it has no value until we can actually apply it. Application in life. Okay, I'm just gonna spell it out. In life, we can actually use it. And a realization usually comes out of, it is an answer to long sought, let's say, internal inquiry. Okay, these are the kind of question that we've been asking. Okay, what is this? What is life about? I've always been wondering about this and that. And then through the interaction, through the interaction with the knowledge or the lesson, we came to enlightenment. Okay, a light bulb moment. And this is really where the meat. This is the transformation. Because the moment that we come across a realization, we no longer think the same. We no longer have the same awareness. Our awareness has expanded. We no longer have the same perception as before. And as our thought change, our behavior and attitude change, and ultimately our action and then our life will change. It is the realization that is the true value in this teaching. And many of the people here have gone through a lot of the, a lot of the sessions, and they have all experienced many realization and many transformation. And in fact, I want to invite our, participant to share some of their own transformations since, let's say, since the first time that you came across this philosophy. Chị Uyên or Ron or chị Lâm, or chị Võ Thị Thu Vi, if you're still on the Zoom, what are some of, reality that you have experienced that is different than before? How has your life been changed from learning this philosophy? Would you like to share? I know you have, otherwise you wouldn't be here. But this is for the sake of our newcomer. This is your gift of speech, your gift of word is also going to be your gift of position. This is where your reality may cause another person to transform. Chị Uyên, what are some changes in your life since you started learning this philosophy?
Thank you Frank. Hôm nay thì thực ra học bằng tiếng Anh ấy thì Uyên nghe cũng hơi có phần cũng có hiểu, nhưng mà có những từ mới phải tra lại ấy.
Okay.
Nhưng mà cũng nhận được rất nhiều cái giá trị. Em hy
You can
vọng rằng
speak
là em
in
sẽ được
Vietnamese
theo
and I
với
will,
lại
I would translate it back. So nói tiếng Việt đi, mình dịch lại tiếng Anh cho mấy người mới đi. You can speak in Vietnamese. Chị có những cái hiện thực gì chị muốn chia sẻ không?
em cũng là học mentor ấy, cho nên là thấy những cái kiến thức về nội tâm này thì nó rất là giúp cho bản thân mình được trưởng thành ấy. Sau đó thì cũng muốn lấy kiến thức này để giúp cho những tổ chức ấy. Thì hôm nay có cái chuyên đề của anh Frank là tổ chức trường tồn thì cũng hơi thu hút, và lại nói về cái phần tính cách mà lại có thể giúp được tổ chức trường tồn ấy. Thì hôm nay thấy anh Frank chia sẻ nó rất là sâu, không những là cái phần tính cách mà nó còn sâu hơn, nó ở cái trong cả tác động đến những con người trong cái tập thể đấy, và làm sao để cái người trong tập thể đấy người ta sẽ để hỗ trợ nhau ấy. Thì nói chung học bằng tiếng Anh em hiểu được một phần như thế, cộng với những cái tri thức mình có. Dạ.
Okay. So in short,
Và đồng thời hôm nay em cũng học được tiếng Anh ấy, học được nhiều tiếng Anh ấy, cũng thấy thích. Dạ.
Okay. So just a short summary of what Ms. Toin said. She basically says that what impressed her is the elements of building an enduring organization. Okay, the character of a person goes into building an environment and an enduring organization. So let me ask you, chị Tố Uyên, chị có những cái hiện thực cuộc sống nào không? Đó giờ có hiện thực cuộc sống nào không?
Cái hiện thực thì em chia sẻ là thực
Ngắn
ra ngày
gọn thôi
trước
để
khi
mình
mà
dịch.
mình chưa biết đến tri thức ấy, thì những cái vấn nạn nó đến mình không có biết cách để giải quyết, thậm chí mình bị sống trong cái vấn đề ấy. Nhưng từ ngày mình biết đến tri thức và mình biết được những cái kiến thức này thì làm cho mình biết cách giải quyết, và mình không biến cái đó thành vấn đề, mà mình luôn luôn ờ, tìm ra cái giải pháp. Và cũng có một cái giai đoạn ấy, đầu tiên khi mình mới biết đến tri thức ấy, thì mình muốn tất cả người khác đều phải thay đổi, thì mọi người không có đón nhận, và mình cảm thấy rất là chán. Thì đến một cái chuyên đề về tính cách này thì mới thấy rằng là người trưởng thành và người thành công là người khác thích ở gần. Thì chiếu lại mình thấy người ta đâu có thích ở gần mình, thì xem lại rằng là mình đã thiếu cái gì. Thì cái chuyên đề về tính cách này làm cho em nó ngộ ra rất là nhiều, là khi mà mình thay đổi bản thân mình từ bên trong, nhưng mà mình phải thay đổi bằng cái sự nó phải ảnh hưởng ra bên ngoài cơ. Còn nếu mình chỉ thay đổi bản thân mình nghĩ là như thế, nhưng mà cái người ngoài người ta cảm thấy là mình cái gì cũng cầu toàn, rồi mình cái gì mình cũng mong cầu người khác ấy, thì người ta cảm thấy rất là không thích, và người ta bị áp lực ấy. Chính cái sự áp lực đấy làm cho người ta không muốn ở gần mình. Thì một cái chuyên đề tính cách này nó sẽ giúp cho, nó là cái chuyên đề quan trọng nhất để giúp cho những người mà học phát triển bản thân cũng như là thay đổi, có nhiều tri thức, biết cách là sẽ giảm bớt cái mong cầu, cũng như là biết cách để làm sao mà giữ được tất cả các mối quan hệ hài hòa hơn ấy. Thì em thấy cái đấy là cái hiện thực của em. Và sau khi em nhìn lại thì em thấy rằng là mình không biết, mình thấy tốt nhưng mà người ta chưa nhận thấy tốt, thì cái câu chuyện của mình làm sao để giúp cho người ta cảm nhận được cái tri thức đó là tốt, thì đấy là câu chuyện của mình, chứ không phải mình ngồi mình mong cầu là cái này tốt thế sao không học. Nên trước em mong cầu chồng, mong cầu người thân, nói chung mong cầu tất cả tổ chức công ty, mong cầu ai cũng phải có được cái đó, thì mình luôn luôn trăn trở, mình luôn luôn là mong muốn cái điều đấy. Nhưng mà đổi lại thì mọi người không có nhận ra, và mọi người thậm chí có những người rất là không thích, và họ còn cảm thấy rất là phản ứng, gọi là phản ứng rất là rõ rệt trước mặt mình. Nhưng mà cũng may là mình biết rằng là cái tri thức này nó sẽ phải ngấm dần, thì qua từng một cái giai đoạn thì em luôn đối đãi với mọi người rất là tử tế, kể cả mọi người đối đãi với mình không tử tế đi chăng nữa thì mình cũng vẫn là tử tế. Thì dần dần một thời gian thì mọi người cũng nhìn ra hết, thì đến bây giờ thấy đấy là cái hiện thực. Thì em đấy, cái điều đấy là cái điều mà mình đáng là để lan tỏa. Nhưng mà có một cái để chia sẻ cho những người mới đi học phát triển bản thân ý, hoặc là mới nhận ra tri thức ý, thì mình làm sao để mình ứng dụng được tri thức vào bản thân mình trước, chứ mình không mong cầu mang cái tri thức đấy để giúp cho người khác trong khi bản thân mình chưa có được cái năng lực đấy, tức là chưa có cái hiện thực. Thì đấy là một cái vấn nạn đối với những người mà biết tri thức nhưng mà chưa ứng dụng vào bản thân mình. Tức là nó phải chuyển hóa thật từ bên trong mình rồi mình bắt đầu mình mới ứng ra bên ngoài. Nhiều khi mình cũng có thể là trong cuộc sống có những cái điều mình vẫn còn gặp những cái vấn đề vấn nạn, hoặc là những cái gì đó mình vẫn chưa hoàn hảo, nhưng mà cái người đời và người ta nghĩ rằng bởi vì khi mình đã nói rằng là mình chuyển hóa, mình đi theo cái hướng lối sống này thì mình phải toàn vẹn, mình không phải mắc một cái lỗi nào. Khi mình chỉ cần mắc một cái lỗi sai thôi, họ sẽ nói rằng là như thế cũng chưa đạt, thì lúc đấy cũng là mình cũng cũng phải nhìn lại mình, cũng là may để mình nhìn lại. Nhưng mà cũng là một cái để mình thấy rằng là cái việc khi mà mình bắt đầu mình truyền thông ra một bên ngoài làm sao ấy để cho người ta cảm thấy thích mình đã, thì mình mới làm được. Thì cái phần tính cách nó vô cùng quan trọng là như vậy.
Okay,
Đã biết
thank
ơn
you
anh
so
Frank.
much. Okay, so a summary, an English summary of what Ms. Towin just said. I'm very grateful for your sharing. Okay, thank you so much. I'm honored by your gift of speech. In summary, Ms. Towin said
Em thì làm ở tập đoàn Trung Nguyên Legion ý, không biết là
yeah.
thì bên Trung Nguyên thì cũng đi theo một cái lối sống tỉnh thức và cũng đi theo một cái hệ giá trị như này. Tuy nhiên để đi được vào một cái doanh nghiệp mà truyền đạt cho tất cả mọi người biết được cái tri thức này thì nó là cả một quá trình mà thực ra là khi mình phải thay đổi mindset từ cấp quản lý cấp cao đến cấp trung rồi đến công nhân, chứ không phải tất cả mọi người đều nhận ra cái điều đó ngay. Thì cái quá trình mà đi vào doanh nghiệp thì em nghĩ rằng là nó cần phải một cái lộ trình, một cái tiến trình ấy. Thì cái điều này em rất là trăn trở trong rất là nhiều năm tháng với các ban lãnh đạo, nhưng mà để mà khi đi được vào đến đội ngũ là truyền đạt được cho tất cả cái tập thể mình ấy, thì cần có một cái lộ trình ấy. Thì em cũng chia sẻ thêm một chút, và em cũng đã giúp được cho công nhân viên ở đây một phần nào đó hiểu được những cái giá trị của cái lối sống tỉnh thức ấy. Nó cũng rất là vui ạ.
Wow, okay. Yeah, okay. So basically, our friend said that in the past, she used to see problem in people when I change other people, right? When I fix people.
Đào tạo nội
Yeah.
bộ ấy, mình thường xuyên tổ chức buổi đào tạo nội bộ.
Mhm.
Em thì làm về nhân sự, human resource.
Human resource, okay. She was in human resource. See problem in people, try to fix people, okay. But now, with the study on this philosophy, we recognize the importance to work on ourselves first. Recognize that it is ourselves who need to become the kind of person of character that will attract other people, right? If we see other people as good or bad, as right or wrong, they may not agree. They might not see the same. But but now we can change the way we behave to other people, so that we need to have the kind of reality that other people can actually see. That is the proof for other people to want to change. Okay, so need to have the reality for ourselves before we can give to other people. Whereas before we go and try to change people, fix people, now we go work on ourselves, so we have the kind of reality that people want to imitate and they want to change and fix for themselves. There is a recognized, especially with this sharing on character, there is a recognize that ourselves, there's still a need to refine and cultivate. It is a process of refining and cultivation. And at the same time, Ms. Stoughton has been a part of an organization that try to practice mindfulness. And now that she can implement this philosophy to help other co-worker to also be mindful and be productive people. So yeah, that is a wonderful reality. Not only you have transformed yourself, but you have through the process of cultivating and refining yourself, you have transformed other people. You have basically given them your gift of speech, your gift of knowledge, your gift of position, right? You have a reality and you give other people the reality. That is the blessing that you give into other. And that is why, your life is better today. Okay. Thank you so much for your sharing. Okay. Keep it up. How about
Thank you,
you?
Mr. Lai.
Yeah. How about you, Ron? Would you care to share any transformation, any life reality that you have experienced since, when you first started learning until now?
Well, mine was basically the same as what she said, but my awareness and my wisdom is a lot better with other people as well, and myself. How to listen to people and ignore the negativity and observe what they've said and analyze what they've said and answer whether I want to answer them right away or just leave it.
Okay.
So
You implemented those levels of wisdom.
yes,
Yeah.
levels of wisdom are good.
Yeah. For myself, I find myself to be a lot more how do you say, serene. Okay. I used to be a person of hot temper character. Okay, hot temper character, short fuse.
Yeah.
And people can recognize that.
Yeah.
But as I practice, magnanimity, as I practice serenity, I find that, I don't know if people can sense it yet, but at least I feel that I have gotten less angry over time. I don't expect as much from, let's say, my son. At the same time, I see my son, in his, in greater potentiality. I used to be angry. I used to yell and punish at my son, but since learning this, I am more tolerant, more magnanimous, and as a result, I feel like my relationship with my son has gotten closer. Yeah, gotten closer. I have become more appreciative of my wife. Since learning the 9 types of people, I've recognized that my wife is my value connector, that she is my spirit of fortune. My son and my wife is my spirit of fortune. I recognize that before I met them, I was sick and I was jobless. After having met them, I have my first home and I have a full-time job and we're working toward financial independence. It is the awareness and perception about my wife and my son that has shifted, and therefore my reality has also shifted. I went from being almost homeless to having a home and, working on almost becoming financially independent. Before I learned this lesson, I would work and I would feel, a lot of the good, right, and should not, and right and wrong, should and should not awareness is very strong. I criticize people. I wanted things to be my way. Okay? I would look everywhere, things gotta be my way. And if the things are not my way, I tend to be irritable. And that affected my affinity with other people. And since learning this, I've learned to let go a lot of that, to focus on the positive instead of the negative, focus on acknowledging people for the 99 things of the normal thing that they do every day, instead of just waiting for, the thing that they do that is extraordinary. And I become more appreciative of other people just for the common thing that they do every day, because it is the common thing that they do every day that carries the organization forward. It is not the rare, occasional, extraordinary act. It is the common 99.99 things of the thing that people do every day that actually carry the organization forward, that the job forward. And so I've learned to become more appreciative of people. And as a result, the reality, the physical manifestation of that change in attitude and awareness is that, my boss has trust me with more responsibility, create more opportunity for me to increase my capability and my wisdom, given me bonuses. Okay, so there's a financial manifestation to the intangible value that we have accumulated. Both in personal relationship as well as in work relationship. My health has improved. I was sick before. I was depressed. I was diabetic, and now, thanks to the philosophy, it is an understanding on the holistic health that a person's health is not just the physical, but is the mental, the social, and the physical well-being that contribute to a person's health. So my health has gotten better. Okay, I meditate, things like that. So yeah, so it's just a little message for any newcomer. Okay, so I
I
hope.
also appreciate time.
Oh,
Time is
yeah.
a very important thing too. Like use your time wisely, sharing with people and sharing knowledge that I know.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so our lives has improved. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. I think that's I think that'll conclude our meeting for today. I hope you guys will come back. I hope Miss Mickey will come back. I hope you will bring the values to other people as well. Okay. We'll see you next week. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Frank.
I love you.
Appreciate this.
Have a good night.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Come here. Say hello to Miss Mickey. Hello, Miss Mickey.
Oh, eh, good.
Hello, Miss
Hi,
Mickey.
guys. Miss
Okay.
you. How's school?
Good. Hello.
Good.
Good. Aw.
You miss her? You miss
Good.
me? Yeah, he miss you.
How,
Okay.
how's after school?
Good.
Who's in the class? Who's teaching you guys? Miss Lynn?
Miss Lynn.
Nice. Okay. But yeah. Well, I miss you. I hope you have a good night.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.